may ask, so I'll tell you. The accepted meaning of angel is messenger, and the accepted meaning of destiny is to make firm establish. So my guests and I bring you messages to establish what you need to know in the present. And also I like working with angels and the calmness they bring. Now, in a moment, I will introduce you to my wonderful guest, Rachel Chapman. But before that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching this show live or at a later date, as it means a lot to me to connect with like-minded women. Now, if you've never met me before, then my name is Rae, and I love to help women to crossroads in their life, heal their past, create their future, and transform their present, so they can take charge of their destiny in the here and now. I'm the founder of Radiant Angel Energy, and I use future life progression, past life regression, angelic Reiki, guided meditation, oracle angel cards, and hypnosis to help women who feel lost get clear on their reason for being here. I've also created a transformational journey and a journey through lifetimes. Now, each episode of the show will cover various themes of your journey, a mini guided meditation or angel card reading with the wisdom of my wonderful guests, like today's guest, Rachel Chapman, who will be sharing her journey from grief into her passion. Now, Rachel is a qualified hypnotherapist and owner of Simply Hypnotherapy, who works with clients face-to-face or via Zoom. Before this, Rachel was a qualified financial advisor working for a well-known banking institution and was with them for about 18 years. Now, Rachel wanted to retrain and help people because a lot of her colleagues would come into her office and tell her all their problems. And Rachel found that she was around a lot of people suffering with anxiety and stress due to the nature of their job role, which was very, very pressurized. Now, mental health has always been important to Rachel, but she's become more aware of it since her mum passed, as she suffered in silence with her mental health. Now, with testimonials such as, I have had a couple of sessions with Rachel and she has been absolutely brilliant. They've been virtual sessions due to the pandemic, but they have been great. She is very professional as well as very understanding and has been very supportive too. Thank you, Rachel. And I highly recommend Rachel for her professionalism, understanding, and for creating the right environment to really help me with sleep issues and anxiety. After just a couple of appointments, I feel much calmer, less anxious, and so much happier. Thank you so much. So without further delay, hello, Rachel, and welcome to the Angels and Destiny show. How are you today?
Hi, Rae. I'm really good,
Excellent.
thank you.
I'm very
you?
well. I'm so glad you're on the show. So before we get into this fascinating conversation, I want to remind you that you can also ask questions, leave comments and thoughts, as both Rachel and I want to be part of this conversation. So please do not be shy. So Rachel, why don't you tell us more about yourself and about your journey from grief into your passion?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. It's a real pleasure to come and speak to you all tonight. I wanted to come on and talk to you about my journey in becoming a hypnotherapist and doing a job now that I feel very passionate. But it's taken me quite some time to get to that point. And it really all started back in 2012 when unfortunately my mum passed away. And this was the first time that I'd ever experienced anybody close to me passing away. So as you can imagine, there was a lot of emotions going on around that. I was still working full time as a financial advisor in a very pressurized environment. And to be honest, I probably didn't deal with it as best as I could at the time. I just went into autopilot and just went back to work and just carried on as if nothing had happened. And then probably 6 months after that point, I kind of hit a bit of a wall. I wasn't performing well at work. I was really struggling at home. I just couldn't cope. So it got to the point where I needed to take some time out from work to reflect and process and deal with all the emotions. And the company I was working for at the time were very, very supportive. They gave me some sessions of counselling for free. So that was fantastic. I met a lovely guy. I called him Magic Mike because I believe that he gave my magic and sparkle back, because he really helped me to give me clarity and allow me to reflect on everything that had gone on and just understand what was really important in life. When you have a big life-changing moment like that, I think it's really good to have time and have the opportunity to stand back and reflect and prioritize what you kind of want to achieve in life and where you're going. So it kind of gives you a bit of a wake-up call, and it allows you to take the blinkers off, because in day-to-day life we're all so busy running around, not really processing anything, not really thinking about anything, just all on autopilot. So this gave me the opportunity to take those blinkers off and just reflect on where I was going and what I wanted to achieve. So that gave me some real good time out to really deal with the grief process. And as I said, the counselling that I had was amazing. But this guy didn't do anything magic necessarily. He just helped me find the answers within myself. So, and I think with any type of therapy, you know, you do that. The answers are within you. You just need help to find them and guided in the right direction. So that was that. And then I went back to work, carried on working full time. And then I became a mum, which again is another big deal. First time mum, and my mum's not around. So that was hard, because obviously you want to share all the milestones that they do. So that was tough. And at that time, I met a group of new mums, and I was their support. I was listening to them because some of them were struggling. So I was their listening ear. They would come to me for advice. Not that I knew anything, because I was a first time mum, but I was just a listening ear to help them, to guide them, just to give them support, really. So yeah, new mum. Then I went back to work part-time, still in this very pressurised job. And that was tricky, because I was working part-time now, but unfortunately, the company still expected me to do the same amount of work as a full-timer. And I used to work really hard, actually. And because my daughter was in nursery, I used to go in on my days off and finish work, but still only get paid part-time money, which I know it seems crazy, but you feel that pressure and you just do it because you want to. You've always got that battle, because you're trying to be a mum, but you're also trying to be successful in your career. And you don't want to be known as, oh, she's a mum now, she can't be bothered, or anything like that. So you put that added pressure on you all the time. So that was tough. I was trying to do, work-life balance between work and mum, but it didn't work. So again, it was still a very pressured environment. But I noticed, certainly more so when I went back after maternity leave, that a lot of my colleagues around me were struggling with stress and anxiety. And again, me being the approachable person, the listening ear, they would come to me, talk to me about their problems, how they was feeling, etc. So I was kind of their go-to person, which I didn't mind. I loved listening to people and helping people and helping them find a route through everything. So yeah, I was again the go-to person for my colleagues. Yeah, so that was that. Still working part-time, still trying to do as much as a full-timer, and still trying to prove myself in a way. Although I'd worked for the company for a very long time, I had the feeling that I still had to prove myself. I didn't want to be known, as I said, the mum that didn't really pull her weight or do her work, etc. And I was always battling with mum guilt. In this day and age, there are many, many working mums out there, because we have to, because of all the nature of the bills that we have to pay. It would be lovely to be able to stay at home with your children, but in this day and age, it just isn't possible. So yeah, still battling with that. And then I got to the point of turning a milestone age, which was another reflection point for me. yeah, so I kind of stood back and looked at myself. And at this point, my daughter was just about to start school, which is a whole different scenario. When they're in nursery, you can put them in at like 7 a.m. and pick them up at 6, but at school, it's kind of 9 till 3. So again, with work, that was a whole different scenario because you've got a little one starting school, so that's a different pressure that they're going through. You've then got to adjust to a new routine with work. And I kind of thought, I can't do this. I don't feel that I'm going to be around enough for her at school. I want to be able to drop her off at proper school time, pick her up at the end of the school, like take her to all the after school classes that she wants to do. So that's why I reflected and thought, right, what can I do? Unfortunately, my job doesn't offer school hours. And I thought, well, what am I passionate about? And I'm passionate about listening to people, helping people see a way forward, making things more logical. So that's when I started to look into courses that I could do in relation to mental health. Because the reason that I wanted to look into mental health is because my mum, bless her heart, I think she struggled massively with her mental health, but she was in a generation that no one ever spoke about it. It was very hush hush. It was like she would be shamed on if she talked about how she was properly feeling. And I think ultimately that's what led to her demise in the long run. So I thought, right, okay, so I want to get involved with mental health because also I've been on lots of emotional journeys, so I can relate to people. I'm not saying their journey is going to be the same as mine, but I can understand certain scenarios. So I looked at courses and I thought I'm quite interested in hypnotherapy. So I started studying whilst I was still working in this very pressurised job, did studying and that and juggling mum life, you know. And I know people do this day in, day out, and this is normal, but, you know, it was my journey and it was my journey to better my life and to better my daughter's life. And also so she could see her mum more. And the one thing she used to say to me whilst I was studying away, she went, I'm really excited for your new job, Mummy. She said, because I know I'm going to see so much more of you. And that to me was enough. That said to me enough. Like, I knew that I was doing the right thing, not only for her, but also for me. Because I think emotionally that just gives you that relief to know that your children are very happy that you're going to be spending more time with them. So yeah, I studied hypnotherapy. Took me just over a year and I qualified. And then I set up my business, Simply Hypnotherapy, the end of last year when I left my old career of 18 years and I started my new role as a hypnotherapist. And again, that's a journey because I've been an employed person since the age of...
So you don't want to do that now because people are going,
16. Yeah, I don't want to tell them my milestone birthday. That's the thing. But anyway, I've been working since 16, so it was a long time. And in an employed fashion. And now there's little old me with my business and just me, you know, and that is actually really empowering, the fact that I've made that leap. I'm doing something that I'm really passionate about. I know that I can help people. And the fact that I've made that jump and I've decided that I'm going to do that really empowered me. And I always wanted to be that person that said, yes, I did it. I've never wanted to be that person that would look back and regretted the opportunity that I had. So yes, I'm a hypnotherapist and I love it. And for those that are watching that don't know much about hypnotherapy, it helps with a whole range of issues that really make a difference. And with hypnotherapy, It's slightly different to counselling or CBT, and I'm not knocking those types of therapy, because all types of therapy have got their part in life. But with hypnotherapy, you haven't got to have loads and loads of sessions. We can normally get to the problem and solve it within a few sessions. But I can help with certainly anxiety. That is very passionate. That's one of my passions, because I know so many people that are affected by that, especially in the current environment that we've gone through, we're still in, and we don't know when that's really going to end. Stress, depression, fears, phobias, habits, weight loss. There's so much that I can help with. But what I really truly love about is the fact that I'll have a client either face to face or online via Zoom, and I can see their face changing every week that I see them, and I can just see it's like a release. It's like a little light bulb going on, and they're kind of working it out for themselves. And the change in their face, you can just see that they are working it through, and they're getting to the point in their life where they think, yeah, actually, I'm all right now. I can cope with everything. I know what to do. Rachel's given me some tools, and I can kind of move forward. So I just love that. It gives me self-satisfaction, whereas my previous job, it served a purpose, but I never felt that I was getting that self-satisfaction. So that was my passion, but it really all stemmed back from when my mum passed away. I just had that thought then, and then, as I said, from my milestone birthday, thinking, right, okay, I really need to do something about this. So yeah, that's my journey.
So when you kind of like thought, okay, I need to take a step now, you know, did you suffer from anxiety and stress, thinking, oh my God, I'm giving up a salary, even though it was a part-time, so I'm giving that up to, well, I might possibly not get any money coming in?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was a big thing, and I spoke to a lot of people. I've got very supportive family around me, and I had some really supportive colleagues, and they said, "Oh no, you'd be absolutely brilliant at that." And obviously, the financial side is always a worry, but because I kind of planned it. And as I said, my course was a period of sort of a year long. I could save up some money, so what I didn't want to do was start a new career and have financial pressure immediately on me. So I kind of did put a plan in place. But yeah, absolutely. There was a lot of anxiety around that. And some days I would go into my old work and thinking, am I doing the right thing? You know, am I crazy? I'm qualified at this role now, and, you know, I've got so much experience. Am I crazy in changing all of this? But I think sometimes, and I'm not saying that everybody can do this, I'm very fortunate that I've been able to do this, but you've just got to go with your gut instinct on what you feel is right, because you only get one life, and life is so short. And again, that all stems back to when my mum passed away, that you just realise that. And it's so sad that sometimes it takes such a big event like that to make you realise that. As I said, there's so many people out in the world that are just rushing around, don't stop and reflect and take their blinkers off and actually see what is going on in life. Where are they? Are they at their happiest point in their life, or is there something more that they want to achieve, or what could they change in their life to do that? And that's partly what hypnotherapy helps you to do. It helps you to achieve your goals, or be a better version of yourself, or make that change that you've been wanting to make for such a long time. So yeah, I guess because I've done that, again, that helps within the therapy that I help as well.
Cool. And a couple of people have commented. Chrissy joined us, said hello. So hello, Chrissy. And I'm guessing
Hi,
this
Chrissy.
might possibly be someone you recognise.
Oh yeah, that's my sister, my big sister. Hi.
Yes, it's lovely when family are so proud of you and support you with what you're doing, and that, because I think that sometimes takes the pressure off you as well,
Mm.
doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's silly little things that at Christmas time, like my sister bought me my work diary so I could write all my clients in. And my dad got me like a little box where I could put all my business cards in. And that's to me
Yeah,
the support side. And I got very emotional. I'm getting emotional now, but but I got very emotional with that because that's just them saying, "We believe in you. You can do this," and that means the world. If you've got someone that believes in you with anything in life, whatever you're trying to do, if you've got someone that believes in you, then that gives you the confidence and the motivation to try and achieve what you want to achieve. And I think that is
yeah,
second to
that's
none,
brilliant. And
definitely.
Keith says hello all. Hello, Keith.
Hi,
Now, don't
Keith.
forget anyone watching. If you've got any questions that you want to ask, then this is your opportunity. You've actually got Rachel and myself here, so you can ask any questions, and we can see if we can help you answer those questions. So, if somebody has kind of like got anxiety, and they kind of
Mhm.
like go, okay, well, maybe I need to see a hypnotherapist. What sort of, how does it work? How can that help with anxiety or stress?
Yeah, so with hypnotherapy, where it's very different from other types of therapy. So hypnotherapy is all about talking to the subconscious part of the mind. So we obviously use our conscious part of the mind on a day-to-day basis, but we've also got the subconscious part, which is the little voice that you might hear, or I don't know if you've been out driving and you've driven home from work or whatever, and you've kind of gone on autopilot. That's your subconscious mind kicking in. And with hypnotherapy, what we do, we get you into a very nice, relaxed frame of mind. So we get you into like a meditation kind of thing. I've talked you down into relaxation, get you to visualize a nice, relaxing scene, whether that's on a beach, near a river, whatever it is. That'll take about 15-20 minutes to get you nice and relaxed. And then what that will then do, it allows your subconscious mind to be very alert. And when your subconscious mind is very alert, that's when you can make the changes that you want to make. Because 9 times out of 10, all things that are created are from a very young age, ages 5, 6, 7. That starts with your belief system, because at that age you're very what's the
Susceptible,
word?
like a
I
sponge.
can't think. That's the word. Thank you, Rae. Yeah, like a sponge. You're taking everything in around you, and what you see is what you understand to be your normal, because you're seeing your peers, your mum, your dad, your grandparents, teachers, whatever, and you see that as your normal, and that builds up your belief system. And those beliefs stay with you throughout your life, basically. And what hypnotherapy does, it is to change your thought pattern and thinking pattern around your belief system, because you would have learned certain behaviours throughout your life. You would have been influenced around certain situations. So with hypnotherapy, it helps you to reframe your thinking in a positive point of view. So, like, for example, with anxiety, like I think I did something recently about wearing face masks. That's very relevant at the moment. A lot of people are saying that they're really struggling with it because they feel that they can't breathe, they don't like it, and it's just reframing that and thinking, right, I've got this mask on, it's there to protect me, I can breathe, I'm all okay, I'm calm and in control. And it's all about talking to the subconscious and getting that reframed in your mind into a positive situation. And we do that, as I said, in a very relaxed state. my clients always get a recording so they can listen to it between sessions as well. So they're hearing it all the time, and it's starting to sink into their subconscious and then start to change their belief system as well. And when that belief system starts to change, that's when they can make the changes. But with any therapy, whether it's hypnotherapy, counselling, CBT, whatever type of therapy you're having, you have got to be motivated to make the changes, because it's all very well saying, oh, I want help for X, Y, and Z. But if you deep down know that your subconscious mind doesn't actually want to make that change, you can't make those changes. You've got to be motivated. Because as I said earlier, with any therapy, I don't have a magic wand. I wish I did sometimes, but I don't. But it's got to be within you to make those changes. And if you are motivated to do that, then you will see the changes and you will see the results, because it's all within you. We just need to steer you in the right direction and maybe change those learnt behaviours and belief systems that you've learnt from a very early age, just to reframe and put it into a positive point of view. And certainly with anxiety, I give my clients lots of tools around breathing exercises. They're so good to do breathing exercises. Mindfulness, where you do your grounding. If you're out and about and you're really struggling, you kind of see something to focus on, smell something, touch something, that sort of grounds you and puts you in that situation. So there's lots of things that are hints and tips that I can help with anxiety. Most definitely.
So Keith says, if you look at anxiety as ego, that will help to turn it around. Okay. If you look at anxiety as ego, oh right, that will help you turn it around.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, with anxiety as well, you know, it's the master of disguise. It manifests in so many different ways, you know, and people will say, I'm all right, but there's so many signs, like you can I can't say the word.
Yep.
Procrastinate a lot. I got that right. You know, not necessarily motivated to do anything, keep going around in circles, not have any focus, any plans, all of that. And that is all signs of anxiety. And yeah, I kind of get what Keith is saying. It is kind of an ego there that's there, and you just got to turn it around. And ultimately, you're always in control of your mind. You just need the strength and the tools to be able to turn it around. Keith's put also, why do we have so much depression now? I think also, well, we're in very unprecedented times at the moment, and there is a lot going on in the world, which is reported every single day. I'm just nodding to Keith's next comment, but yeah, there's a lot of news that's reported, and I'm not again saying don't watch news or whatever, that's your personal choice, but neither do I. But I think also you have to understand that if you are watching that, you've got to control what you take in, because you can't change what you can't change. So you can't change how people react. You can't change their emotions. You can't physically change the situation that we are in. But what you can change is how you react and what you take on, and think to yourself, right, okay, so this is the situation. Do I need to do anything about it? Is it going to affect me? If not, I'm going to sort of brush it away. So, but I think some people don't, they take it all in, they suck it all in, and then it becomes such a burden on their shoulders. And I think that's why it certainly is a fair factor. Yeah, it's definitely more publicised. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's that's what social media, you know, it brings so much more stuff, which can be liberating if you look at it as liberating and knowledge to help you, rather than looking at looking at it as something
Yeah.
to not liberate you, to keep you in a lockdown, basically.
Yeah. Also, talking about social media, Rae, that's possibly another reason why depression is quite high, because certainly with teenagers, young adults, they feel that they have got to live up to an expectation, and they feel that social media is their monitor as such. And as we all know, social media only shows the lovely parts of life. It's not real life. And there's so many people that live their life on social media. And I think you just need to, if you are very much involved with social media, I think you need to have a point of just maybe only having a certain amount of time on it each day and then closing it off, or look for it for information rather than people influencing you, because again, that can cause all sorts of issues because people are trying to live a life which isn't reality.
So Keith says, one thing I am and have learned is to be within during this lockdown period has shown me so much more to be within. And I think it has for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I think it's made people realise actually how lucky we are in a certain respect. You know, you kind of again have a bit of a reflection moment, and I think you're grateful for what you've got in your life, and you realise actually how lucky we are. But again, it's like anything. Certainly for me, I reflected on like my busyness of my life, and coming out the other side of lockdown, I'm just very conscious about not being so busy, because again, you get to the point in life where you become blinkered again and you're not seeing life for what it really is and not enjoying it for the moments that we should enjoy it.
And Keith says, in a way, the social media publicised depression, anxiety is an advertisement, really. Yeah, and that takes us down a whole different rabbit hole.
It does, and yeah, that would be a very long, deep conversation. But yeah, it does advertise it, but in a good and a bad way. It brings awareness. Awareness is always good, but also there's the downside to it as well. As I said, people are relying on social media to live their life through it, and it isn't real life, and then that starts affecting them from a mental capacity as well. So that's a whole nother conversation,
a completely different one. So as you know, I do guided meditations and angel cards and oracle card readings. So each week I like to ask my guest what they would like me to do for themselves and those watching. So Rachel, would you like me to do a guided meditation, or would you like me to pull an oracle card for you and those watching?
I think I would like you to pull an oracle card.
Funny enough, I've got them in my hand because everyone always wants the oracle cards.
Ah!
So as usual, I'll give the cards a quick cleanse and a bless. Now, when I do cards, I don't actually do cards to predict the future, which may seem a bit contrary to what I do, because obviously I do past life regression, so I take people back in time, and I do future life regression to take people forward in time. But when I take them back or forward in time, it's to bring them back to the present, because I think everything really should be truly in the present. So what does Rachel and everyone who's watching this need to know for their highest good at this moment in time? What does Rachel and everyone who's watching this need to know for their highest good at this moment in time? So we got a beautiful card that's come out. Gates of Triumph. Success expands your life. Put that there. And that, which is actually quite a good card to come out, talking about going from grief to passion and to expanding your success. And again, it's that being grateful for this, grateful for the successes that you have, grateful for the things that you do have that lead on to your life being more expanded, not necessarily financially, but emotionally. It expands your life. So it really is a case of are confirming that by being grateful for the successes you have and for what you have can lead to a bigger input of triumph, of emotions around you. So such a beautiful card to actually come out now, and and to say that things are positive now. So no need to worry, because the gates are open for you to go full steam ahead.
That's lovely, and it does make a lot of sense. I was talking to one of my friends a few months ago. I was chatting to her about my journey, and she said, if you give out to the universe positive vibes, positive things will come to you, and that is so true in that card. And yeah, I feel emotionally I've grown so much since my mum passed. My emotional mind has changed completely, and I see life in such a different way now. And the fact that I do this job now, again, you grow every day. To be a good therapist, you need to grow every day. You need to learn from your clients and their experience to make you the best therapist that you can be. But yeah, it's certainly a journey, definitely. So that's a lovely card.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And Keith, yes, totally. Arigato. Thank you for life itself. Totally. I always arigato if I pay money out, and that even paying my bills, it's like arigato. And that because why not? I'm grateful that I have the money to pay that bill. So I've always got money to pay that bill. And that. So, Rachel, do you have any insights or thoughts to leave our viewers?
I think with the current situation that we're in now, I think we need just to take a step back and have a think to ourselves before we start to go down to that negative thought pattern. Think to yourself, is what I'm thinking in this manner going to benefit me? And if it's not, try and change it into a positive and think from a positive point of view, because life is very tough, and it probably will be quite tough for some time. So try and think about the positives in life and be grateful for what we do have in life, and be grateful for every single day that we have and make the most of it, because life is so short, and before we know it, it'll be gone. So just make the most of it.
Yeah. Keith says, I smell at paying bills. It's amazing. It totally is. So everyone, I hope you've enjoyed this and found it insightful, and the words of wisdom Rachel has given you will help you further on your journey. So Rachel, if people want to connect with you, how do they do that?
Yeah, so I've got a few ways that people can connect with me. My website is Simply Hypnotherapy Kent.co.uk. I'm also on Facebook, which is Simply Hypnotherapy Kent, and on Instagram as well. And I've got emails, phone, messages, all sorts of different ways. And I would love to help anybody. I love helping people and love them moving forward in what they want to achieve. So yeah, I'd love to hear from everybody.
Brilliant. And what I'll do is I'll post all the details, so there'll actually be the actual links for you to click on to Rachel. So Keith says, I know guides are here to help guide for an easy life. If we would only listen. Totally. And we do forget to listen to our guides sometimes. And that even those of us that have been doing this for a long time, occasionally you get a slap on the wrist. It's like, you haven't been listening. No, I haven't. Have I? Sorry. I will now. but they love you anyway. So Keith says, so pleased to have cooked you some. Oh, Kusan, thank you for positive. Oh, you're welcome, Keith. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you everyone who has been watching. So if you have reached that crossroads in your life and you need help finding your destiny and taking charge of your future, then I would love to be that guide for you. So please feel free to reach out and connect with me, and we can arrange a free 20 to 30-minute video call to find out more about each other and how I can help you on your journey. And of course, if you're looking at getting a chance to get away and learn more about yourself, then I am running a treat down in Glastonbury in October. Registration, you've only got a couple more weeks left of that. So check it out if you're looking at getting away and spending some time connecting with Mary Magdalene, Saint Germain, dragons, possibly even Merlin down there, and taking a journey into the past and going into the future. And of course, I have the Angel Wings membership community where you get a chance to grow with ascended masters, archangels, oracle cards, to spread your wings and soar, as well as being part of a wonderful community. So thank you everyone so much for watching and for your comments. And I would like to invite you to share this video, as I'm sure there are more women and people who feel lost and want to get clear on their destiny, just like you. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so that you can be notified when the show goes live. And before we go, Keith has said, oh, that sounds fun. I'll be off there too. Brilliant. And he also says, yep, I'd also get, as I get stubborn, think I know better than them. Yeah, that's how the guides work. So again, thank you everyone for watching, for your comments. And if you're watching this on the replay, we will, please do leave any comments or questions. We will go in and look at them and answer them for you. So thank you very much, Rachel, for being on. And brilliant. And everyone, I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.